If you want to add scenery to your model railway, ballast becomes a necessary evil. But is it a bit vanilla? Is it a bit like watching paint dry? Stick around and I'll show you how you can change that. Hi everyone, welcome back to St Blazing Model World. I'm Roger, and in this video I thought we'd have a look at ballast. We all need to have it if we're going to put scenery on our model railway, but there are a few things you can do to make it your own and give it that extra little twist of detail. So just quickly, let's have a look at some track that has no ballast on it at all, and as we move along we can see some ballast in place. There's nothing wrong with it, it's applied reasonably well, a little bit of ballast on the sleepers, but certainly here in the UK that happens. It's affixed to the baseboard and the track. It hasn't come off in 2 years, probably never will do, but it's all a bit plain, isn't it? Let's just have a look. I mean, it really doesn't enhance the appearance of the track that much, other than we know that real railway has real ballast. So if we want to give our ballast a little bit of variation and change it from this into something like this, how do we go about it? Well, there's a couple of ways you can approach the matter. It all depends upon your willingness to open your mind and to experiment. One of the easiest ways to apply a little bit of detail to your ballast is to add a wash once it's dry. And here you can see some dark and light grey patches. The light grey patches represent the ballast applied in its natural form, as it were, and the darker patches represent the areas where I've let the ballast dry and apply a little bit of wash. Diluted acrylic paint is one way to go, and it works very well. And of course, at the end of a line such as we have here, you might well have darker ballast. Why? Well, because the railway engine would have been sitting waiting for the run round or for the train it's just brought in to depart. There would be oil, water and all sorts of other substances on the track, and that's one way to apply some detail to it. But of course, when it comes to applying detail, there is much more we can do. I'm very lucky. I live right by the sea here in Cornwall in the UK, and we got sand all around. A couple of spoonfuls of sand mixed in with your ballast can give a different effect, and there are examples of creamy coloured ballast certainly here in Cornwall and across the rest of the UK as well. It's one way to go. Lastly, of course, adding some foliage to the track and the sleepers gives your ballast the ultimate look. And of course, if your track is a branch line or rarely used line, you certainly would have weeds growing amongst it. And I hope that you feel inspired now to give your ballast a little bit more detail. Just remember that there are different ways to go. No ballast at all, plain ballast, and of course ballast with some detail, some colouring and perhaps a little bit of foliage. It's all a question of choice. You can either add the ballast in its raw state and detail it afterwards, or you can mix various substances like sand or different types of ballast together before you apply it. Either way, it will give your model railway an enhanced look. I do hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful and informative. Please remember to like and subscribe, and if you have time, of course, leave a comment. We welcome every comment we get here at St Blazing Model World. Once again, I'd like to thank people that have subscribed already. Subscribing is free on YouTube, no cost involved. And if you hit the bell icon as well, you'll get an alert every time we release a new program. That's it for this one. Thank you for your time as always. Stay safe. Take care. Bye now from St Blazing Model World.